I have been wanting to launch my own YouTube channel for a very long time now, and look, today I'm finally starting this journey with all of you, okay? Now, I have built and consulted multiple 7 and 8-figure brands, and in this video, I'm going to break down how I did it, of course, the lessons I learned, and most importantly, how I'm going to do it again, but this time in public with all of you watching. And here's the thing, okay? I've been in this world for a very long time. Entrepreneurship, the creator economy, everything in between. I helped build in the lab one of the biggest global basketball brands in the world alongside Devin Williams. I've consulted companies across sports, media, e-commerce, tech, SaaS, B2B, and everything in between. And I've seen what it takes to go from nothing to millions and millions of dollars in revenue. And I want to show you both sides of that journey, the wins and the failures. So the truth is, right, most people only show you the highlight reel, but I want to give you the exact real playbook for everything. If you've ever wondered how to take an idea from scratch and build it into a brand and eventually scale that brand into a 7, 8-figure business and beyond, this is going to be your inside scoop. And what's going to be really different about this journey is I'm not going to be doing it from behind the scenes anymore, because that's how I've been living the last 10 years of my life, behind the scenes, behind the camera. Now I'm officially in front, and I'm going to be documenting every single step. So the good, the bad, and the messy middle. You'll see me apply everything I've learned from the brands I've built and consulted. And of course, you'll see in real time what works and what doesn't. So without further ado, let's just start at the foundation, which to me is the power of vision. So let's go. Welcome to my studio, and let's kick this video off with the power of starting with a clear vision, just as I promised, and let's break it down. Now, I first started my businesses when I was 17 years old. Being that young, I had no clear vision. I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally just experimenting and just chasing any opportunity that came my way. Now, when I was 17, I started with a graphic design company, a website company. I was basically doing events and promotions for local clubs, bars, and restaurants around the city. So I was doing graphic design for them. I was doing their websites on WordPress and Joomla, throwback, and I was literally just helping them market and build a social presence or a website presence, or just getting their flyers and things out there to people to attract them to their events. So basically marketing. So that's where I started when I was 17. I was getting paid. I was just hustling and grinding. If anybody asked me to do something that I couldn't do, I just figured out how to do it, or I learned how to do it. And if someone asked me to do something crazy, I would be like, yeah, I do it. And I'll give you an example of having literally no idea and just chasing opportunities. There was a club that asked me one time, hey, do you know anybody that does photography? And of course, my answer was, yes, I do. And the next thing you know, literally within 2 weeks, I bought a camera, I bought the flash, I learned how to do it, and I was literally the one in the club taking the pictures of everybody in the club as they have a good time. That was me just chasing opportunities because I wanted to learn things on the fly. I wanted to have that feeling that, okay, I'm doing these things for myself, and I wanted to build something. There's nothing wrong with doing that. If you're starting young and fresh, I want you to be free. I want you to experiment. I want you to learn and dabble in every industry, as many different things as you can, because I truly feel like that is the best way for you to learn and grow and to build yourself up. Because when you're that young, you're not going to know what you really care about, what you're really passionate about. You need to dabble and you need to try and test things out. But let's progress from there. Now, over time, of course, I learned by taking very messy action. I was evolving, I was growing, I was trying all these different businesses. I can tell you guys right now, from a true fact, I've launched at least 30 different businesses. I'm a true serial entrepreneur. And of course, 80% of those businesses fail because they're just random ideas that I'm trying to do, but I'm excited about it. So I'm testing, I'm learning, I'm experimenting. And I love that about myself because it's allowed me to get this far in life. And of course, I've refined things a lot since then. It's not like that anymore. What I want to mention here is that I always lacked a North Star when I was younger. And to me now, having a North Star is actually very important. And a North Star is a very high achieving thing that you want to reach for the stars for. Like, if you're building these steps, right, every single day, you're taking a step on the ladder in your journey. Where is it that you want to go? So if I'm climbing this ladder every single day, what am I trying to get to and go? Now, when I was younger, I had no idea. I was just, let me see how high on the ladder I can get. Let me see how far I can go. But in the reality, if I had a North Star, something that I was actually aiming for and achieving to do and become and to earn and to build, it would have made everything a lot more simple, because I would have been, okay, I'm climbing this ladder with purpose. I'm not climbing this ladder randomly. No, I think that is exactly what I want to show you. You need to have a North Star. And I'll break it down even further. And you guys will hear me talk about my brands that I've built and consulted with throughout many different videos, but you'll see them naturally sprinkled in as we continue to build and grow this YouTube channel. Global basketball brand that I built with Devin Williams. We've done millions in revenue, over 500 million views. We have a lot of great statistics and analytics around the brand. Again, that I'll break down later on in future videos. But for right now, let's talk about what the In the Lab difference was. We had a vision. We wanted to create a global basketball movement that centered around culture, training, and storytelling. That was what it was, a global basketball movement. That's what we wanted to do. So we knew from the start that we had this North Star, and we're like, how do we get there? And we can quantify and discuss the North Star in different ways, like whether it's how I just told you or whether I was like, hey, I want to build the Nike of basketball, however you want to coin it. And that's our North Star. But we know that we're trying to achieve something. That's what I want all of you to kind of think about and focus on, whether you're starting your personal brand, your business, or you're already on the go with that. And as we discuss in future videos, and as we go through this video, how to build, monetize, and scale your personal brand or business, something to think about is like, what is your North Star? What's your purpose? What are you doing all of this for? It's gonna help you, I promise you. Having that is gonna really help you align. That also goes into this next thing I want to chat about, which is clarity and why clarity matters. If you have clarity, everything that you're doing will have more purpose, it will be more defined, and your vision will literally just be clear. That's clarity. By having a North Star, you can then work backwards from there. I want to build the biggest basketball brand in the world. I want to build the next Nike, whatever it is for you. Okay, I have my North Star. Now I can actually work backwards on that. I want to be the biggest content creator in the fitness industry. Okay, cool. That's a massive goal. How do we work backwards and actually do that to achieve it? But at least now we know where we want to get. In my mind, I'm like, that's where I need to be. So I think it's very important because I've consulted with a lot of brands and creators and everybody in between. A lot of times what I'm seeing is there's no North Star. It's just like, hey, I'm flying by the edge of my seat. You know, I'm just hanging on. I'm just gonna go for the ride and see where it takes me. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people actually get by and make millions of dollars doing that. But to build something sustainable and long-term, these are the frameworks and teachings that I want to give to you. And without clarity, without some of the things I'm talking about, you're just gonna be a squirrel in those movies. It's like their heads turning. It's like left, right, left, right, left, right. Your attention is gonna be drawn so many different ways. You're gonna be chasing what I like to call the shiny objects, which is what I did when I was 17. And you don't want to be the person that's chasing shiny objects. You want to be the person who is locked in and laser focused on one thing. The other thing is it's going to force you to pivot too much. You don't want to be pivoting too much because that's going to make you lose momentum in the long run. You don't want to chase shiny objects. You don't want to pivot too much in your business or your brand or what you're doing. And you definitely don't want to lose momentum because the hardest thing to pick back up on social media, I promise you, is momentum. And once you're rolling, once that engine is turned on, you need to be going as fast as you can. And you need to just sustain that for as long as you can, which is the hardest part, which again, I'll help you and I'll show you how to do it in the long run. All right, so let's keep going. Now, with clarity, the thing to remember is like your decisions will be easier, your brand will be aligned, and your audience will have trust. So again, clarity just is gonna help you fix a lot of your problems. Because imagine now, okay, I'm working quick, my decisions are coming so fast. My brand, my vision, my mission, everything is aligned. And you know what's great? My audience trusts me because they see the clarity. They understand the vision. They understand the things I'm talking about. They understand where I want to go and take them along that journey. So now they're rocking with me. So those are all very important things. All right, so there's 4 questions that I want you to think about and ask yourself, right? So this is what I want you to focus on. What do I want this brand to stand for? Okay, what problem am I solving? Who am I solving for? And what is the ultimate goal and what I'm trying to do, build, achieve? Pause the video, write these questions down, answer them, put it in the comment section, be open, be vulnerable. Let's chat, discuss, and be open because I really want to build a community that's open to sharing thoughts, feedback, ideas, and action plans so we can all build and grow together. That is the first exercise in this video, and that's the first valuable takeaway you can have from this video. So this is a framework that I want you to also think about now that we've answered the 4 previous questions. Vision, mission, values. So the vision is your future picture. The mission is how you're going to get there. And the values are your non-negotiables. So what I want to do is now break this down for you guys so it makes sense. I'm going to give you a clear example so that again, you can take and model this however you want for yourself. But again, after I break this down, pause the video, write out your vision, mission, values. That'll be your second key takeaway from this video. And let's go through the vision for myself first. Now, for me, I want to make it possible for anyone to turn their ideas into thriving brands that create freedom. Simple. And I can say this a million different ways, okay? The mission for me is to teach the exact playbooks I've used to build, monetize, and scale through real stories, tools, and execution. Vision check, mission check. What are my values? What do I really believe in? The non-negotiables for me are execution. I want to show and teach you how to execute. Second is transparency. Everything on this channel is going to be transparent. I will show screenshots. I will show how much I make. I will show the mistakes. I will show everything so that it's very real, natural, and authentic. Third is giving value first. I want everything that I do to be about giving value. As much free value as I can, I want to give. I'm not here to charge you money for anything. Okay, if you want to do that, sure, hit me up. We'll figure something out. But I'm here to give as much value as I can. And at any point, whether it's 1, 3, 5, 10 years from now or never, If I launch something, if I do something, that's cool. But my goal is not to monetize. My goal is to build a real, natural, authentic, engaged community that just messes with me and the value and knowledge that I'm giving. Which goes to my next point, which number 4 is community. You need to build an authentic, engaged community. That starts with really good content. That starts with being your authentic self. That starts with just being a real individual, a real person that's just truthful. Last is resilience. I think this is a very big one. As a non-negotiable. You need to be resilient. This content game, building a brand, building something on digital, being an entrepreneur, it is not for the weak. It is very, very hard to do. I'm not sitting up here saying it's easy. It's a grind. Every single day, every single opportunity, every single challenge, they will push you to the brink. They will push you to the limit. I can promise you that. But what I want to say and what I want to show you is that to keep pushing, and that you have a community, you have me, you have other individuals that are going to kind of come together, and we're all going to push each other to that North Star. Please be the person who takes the videos, who is watching them, taking the knowledge, think about it, write it down, process it, answer the questions, write everything out, do the exercises, and then go execute on it. I want to teach you all how to be great executors, because that is the difference between, I think, the top 1% in the world is that we know how to execute. We execute at great efficiency, and we just execute at such a high clip rate. It's incredible. If you can focus on these things, it's gonna take you very, very far. And the outcome from all this is that clarity will make your brand very magnetic. Go through my 4-question framework. You're gonna have that clarity now, okay? And you're gonna attract the right people. You're gonna repel the wrong ones. You're gonna bring good energy in, and you're gonna actually start to focus on how to build a clear, natural, authentic, engaging brand, whether it's your business or your personal brand. So next up, we have the importance of execution, which is literally just doing the work. That's all you gotta do. Everything that I have done, the reason I'm here talking to you guys today and being able to do this kind of stuff is all about execution. You don't need to buy this. I just want to show like, this is how serious I am about execution. I always want to be like very real with you guys. I don't want to sugarcoat things. I want to tell it to you how it is, because no one did that to me when I was coming up in my journey. It was all sugarcoated. I don't want to be that for you, okay? Ideas are absolutely worthless without execution. So you may have all these great ideas, and so many people have great ideas, but you know the reason why they never come to fruition, they never actually happen, is because they don't know how to execute on them. They just sit on them. I know personally so many people have incredible ideas. I've heard so many great ideas. Where are they? Where are those ideas? What happened to them? Nothing. Because a lot of people just don't understand how to take an idea and to build it and monetize and scale it, but most importantly, to execute on it and to start at its simplest form. How do you take that idea and to start to make it into reality? How do you start to bring it to life on paper? That is what I want to really help to show you guys too, as we continue to build and go on this journey together. I've seen a lot of brilliant ideas, no action. And I've seen on the flip side, a lot of very average ideas, a lot of very average entrepreneurs and creators. But again, what they do is they succeed because they have relentless execution. They're just getting things done every single day, every hour. They're pumping out videos, content, they're building and growing, and they're learning on the fly. And that's why you can go from average to extraordinary, because you're learning on the go. You're giving yourself literally a degree just by putting yourself out there. One of the best things you can do, learn by experimentation, learn by trial. Just put out there. I know it's very hard for some people to accept that, but that is going to be a very, very key difference in your life if you can unlock that. And I'm going to help you unlock that in all the different videos we're going to put out. We're going to continue to hammer down on these concepts and make sure we all become successful by understanding some of these frameworks and things that I'm going to be teaching you. Now, again, going back to in the lab, why were we successful? There's many different reasons and things that happened along our journey, but all of it came down to consistency. We showed up, we would post, we would test, we would reiterate, we would launch. If a product failed, we'd go back. How do we fix this? Then we come back. Hey, did it work? Did it improve 10%, 20%, 30%? Okay, what's the next learning? How do we kind of evolve from there? You need to be thinking like that. Whether, again, it's your personal brand or your business, I don't think it's very, very possible for you to just start today, put out something, and just be like, this is perfect. I'm set. This is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. There's so much natural learning that you have to go through. There's so much experimentation that you understand and live through to really evolve and become that person you want to become. Again, it's all trial and error. So put yourself out there and stop going. Another big thing I've seen a lot of people do, they fall into this trap of just overthinking. They're waiting for everything to be perfect. You know what? This edits, the color grading's off. This one word was like spelled wrong, or there should have been a period there. You know what? My hair just wasn't perfect. I should have got a better fade. My beard wasn't lined up. I've heard every excuse under the sun. Content never gets put out. Businesses never get built. Please don't wait for perfection. Perfection kills momentum. It kills your ideas, and eventually over time will kill you. Don't be a perfectionist. If you look at success versus failure, to me, it all comes down to speed of execution. Test, learn, adjust fast. If you can become a great executor at speed and efficiency, you're gonna kill it. I promise you that, because you're gonna be so much further ahead of everybody else in your space, your field, your niche, whatever it is, because I just promise you they're not executing at that clip rate. And I keep saying that because to me, that is very, very true. So now what I want to do is just give you 2 quick frameworks as your main takeaway outside of everything else I just talked about in this section for how to become a great executor and just focusing on execution. First, you have an execution sprint. An execution sprint to me is 66 days of consistent action. Just post for 66 days. Just work on your business for 66 days. Just do something simple if you don't want to do something too big. The second one that I want to show you, there's 2 frameworks here. So we have the execution sprint and the law of 100. Now the law of 100 is do 100 reps. Just commit to 100 reps before judging anything, anyone, or anything else. It could be videos, it could be posts, it could be email marketing, it could be writing pitches, whatever that is, whatever you want it to be, it's totally your choice. Okay, but just commit to 100 reps. I would recommend posting 100 times or writing 100 scripts, 100 reps of anything. Just commit to it. If you can do the execution sprint and the law of 100 together, you're gonna be golden. I promise you. You're gonna start making positive change in your life and really start pushing yourself forward to where you wanna be and who you wanna become. Execution will separate dreamers from builders. My speed of execution is very high. I saw the product, I was like, yo, this guy should be really cool. I confirmed it with Dev. He's like, this is incredible. This can go viral. Cool. We made the content, we put the product out, and boom. From there, we started a massive, massive wave in a brand new category that has never been seen before within the basketball space, okay? So the lesson here is that execution separates dreamers from builders. Go out there and execute. Next, I wanna talk about how I monetize early and how you can find profitable revenue streams, okay? So I wanna break this down in a few different ways, but I want the core of this section, and I want everybody listening to remember that if you're starting your personal brand, I want you to understand that you need to lock in. This is not about making money day one of your personal brand. This is about building a real, authentic, engaged community through high-level content, and that's gonna take time to build great content, to create trust, to have that life cycle start to go and build for you. Okay, on a business, of course, it's a little bit different because you may have a product you want to sell, you may have something you want to monetize, so we do need to move a little quicker, but the same principles will still apply because we still need to build an engaged community. We still need to have really good content and storytelling. Early monetization for us was product drops. Okay, we started with apparel, training gear, of course, eventually had our own shoes, silent basketball, every apparel you can imagine, shorts, t-shirts, hoodies, compression, socks, everything in between. Anything that a basketball player wanted. We also had our online training platform, we had events, we had a ton of other ways that we were monetizing. But what we did within the lab was we proved that people would pay for value. That was always our goal. Dev was obviously the massive leader in this. He is the face of the company and the brand. People came to Dev and trusted and believed him because of course the great storytelling content he put out with the 10,000 hour series. But on top of that, he was just very real and authentic. He gave you exactly the training advice you wanted. He showed you the move breakdowns. He showed you how to become a better basketball player. And as he was learning and experimenting, he was sharing that with you on social media. So you naturally felt a part of Dev's story, whether it's through his storytelling or through him playing actual basketball on the court as a hooper. And we were never trying to build an empire from day one. We're always experimenting, right? So we wanted to put out really good content. We wanted to figure out what can help us create and engage and have a really deep, meaningful relationship with our community that connected all of us. And that came through our series 10,000 hours, which again, Dev created and founded. It is to this day the #1 motivational basketball series ever created on YouTube. We literally won an award. We beat out Kobe Bryant's Detail to win an award for this series. So that says a lot about how it resonates with people around the world. And that's why In the Lab is so global, because that series blew up in China and we made a global brand around it. But the lesson here is that monetization is all about listening to your audience and not forcing products. We never forced a product. All we did was we naturally added more. We naturally tested things out. We did a product drop where we released the t-shirts and hoodies. They did well. People would tell us like, yo, that was dope. Oh, yo, I missed it. Can you guys release some more? Oh, you guys should make headbands. Oh, have you guys thought about socks? Hey, will you guys make some basketballs that we can play outside and inside with? Like, our audience was actually so great because we created this relationship with them where they felt trusted and open and they were heard. So we were taking all that feedback in and then making products that they actually wanted for, while Dev was creating an immense amount of value through basketball training content and storytelling content. So we had a great flywheel working for us where content was getting us our views and our eyeballs. We were then using those views and eyeballs to create a deep, authentic relationship with our community. And then through that, we had value and trust. So we were able to sell products to our community. So to me, that's as simple as it can be. I want you guys, again, to focus on when you're first starting out It's not about how do I make $1 million on day one. It's literally, I'm telling you right now, how do I build a very deep, authentic, engaged audience? I think that is the most important thing that you can focus on. You need to have trust, you need to respect your audience. You just need to give them as much value as you can so they know that this is what you do. And over time, that bond will scale, that bond will form even further, and you'll be able to make money later down the road. But I think the thing is, people get so tied up with social media right now that they want to make money today and tomorrow. It's just not how it works. So here's my recommendations. Always start simple. Start simple, validate your demand, and then listen to your audience. Whether it's DMs, Convos, Discord, whatever tool you guys are using, understand what they want. Listen to the things that they're asking for. Like, actually go in there and talk to them. What's their pain points? What do you guys like and dislike? Did you like this video? Did you hate it? What do you want to see me make videos on? That's a great way to keep your audience engaged and evolve long term. And the biggest thing is, do not confuse engagement with sales. I'm telling you right now, I have met with a lot of creators, millions and millions of followers. The average for me is anywhere from 5 to 10 million followers. I've talked to, let's say, 7 different creators in that range. Imagine what happens when they try to sell a product just because they think they can sell it. The product doesn't sell. They can barely sell 2 t-shirts. They can barely sell maybe a makeup thing or product line they're trying to do. It's because you don't have an actual relationship with your audience. So don't confuse views, engagement, comments with, oh, I can sell a product, I can make $1 million. Because to be honest, that translation is not natural, and that's a harder translation to make. If you're just making content and people are coming, you're making them laugh, you're having a fun time with them, that's great. And you can make money in different ways through brand deals and partnerships. And I'm sure those creators are doing that. But selling a product is very, very different. You need to give value. You need to create that bond with your audience. And then over time, you can sell products. But I'm telling you, start slow. It'll help you build and scale a lot faster long term. So let's go through some frameworks now. The first framework is the first $1 rule. The first $1 you earn is actually much more important than getting 10 or 100,000 views. Because if you make your first dollar, you're basically validating that whatever you're doing is viable. You're validating, okay, that someone out there is willing to pay X amount for what I'm providing and doing. That is a massive, massive thing. And to understand that early on can be very beneficial. And it just depends what you're trying to do and build and scale long term. So think about that, the first $1 rule. If you're able to make $1, it's much more important to understand that, and if people will pay for a service eventually over millions and millions of views, because you just understand if what you're doing is going to be valuable. Some people also start by selling the wrong products, or they may sell a course that makes no sense. You want to think about what are the things you can also sell and build with long term. And you guys outline some of the questions that I've provided earlier on in this video. These are things you can think about. If I think 1 year from now, what's a product that I want to own and scale and operate? It could be a digital product, it could be a hoodie, it could be anything. But most people start with digital products like courses, ebooks, or phone calls. Hey, would someone pay me $10 to have a phone call for 30 minutes? Now, personally, I think that's an incredible steal if I said $10 to get 30 minutes of consulting with me. But again, you'd have to validate that to see if somebody would pay. Next thing, this is the lean startup loop. Build, measure, and learn. If you think about it, it's actually very, very simple. You want to build, you want to measure what's happening, whether it's products, engagement, views, content, whatever that case is, and you want to learn from those analytics. You want to learn from that. Let's see what's actually happening. Let's see what people like, what they don't like, what's getting comments, what's not getting comments. How can we assess, learn, and change things? Because that's the next step. And then that becomes your loop. Build, measure, learn. It's the simplest way to kind of also think about things. And again, throughout these videos, you may see these different frameworks. Some frameworks will work for some people. Some frameworks, people will be like, what? That's why sometimes I like to give multiple frameworks that are very similar, but they're different in their own right and how they're presented and how they may sound to you. So again, this framework you may like. You may be like, okay, now I understand build, measure, learn. Let me start adapting that. And someone else may be like, you know what? I like the first $1 framework better. Let me focus on that. It totally depends on what you want to do. But at the end of the day, what you really want to make sure and understand is, again, just value. And what is the value exchange? People will buy perceived value. It doesn't really matter what the cost is. So if you're constantly providing a ton of value, and over time, your audience is gonna trust you, because if you put out a product, they're gonna be like, you know what? For the last year, Nav just gave me a crazy amount of value. Like his frameworks, his teaching, his knowledge, his experience, he gave that all to me for free. So you know what? If he's selling something for 40 bucks, I'll pay that $40 because I got way more than $40 of value from him in the last year. A few other things to think about before I move on is you don't have to start products now. And I don't recommend you doing that. If you're building your personal brand, focus on just creating content, understanding what you want to do. You just need to get reps out there. And again, over time, you want to build this natural, engaged audience. And over time, you can always figure out what that product may be. But the one thing I also want to recommend to everybody here And I will do videos on like Laylo and ManyChat and some of these incredible tools that I use every single day. But I want you to think about something, because a lot of people also make this mistake. This is probably one of the top mistakes that creators and brands come to me for. And then when I ask them, they don't have it. They don't have an email list. They don't have a text list. They don't have anything about their customer data. You need to own your data. It becomes very important. If people are following you, engaging with you, commenting with you, watching your free guides, doing whatever you're doing, you need to have that data somewhere. For me right now, what I'm testing is ManyChat. And again, I'll make a video on this. But if you guys go to my Instagram, you see some of the videos I'm posting, you'll see that I do a lot of comment X to get X. Comment chat, and I'll send you a free guide on how to absolutely destroy ChatGPT and become a prompt master. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it would be to go further. Like within the lab, we have over 70,000 text message numbers, actual people's phone numbers on our Laylo text message list. And we can engage with them at any time. So we do our product drops to them, we give them VIP discounts through that software, and we do a lot more. There's a lot of different ways to break this out. Again, I will make the videos. I promise you guys, I will not gatekeep. I will teach you everything. What I want your takeaway to be from this last part is to own your audience. You don't just want to be on social media having fun and forgetting about that. You need to own your audience, because at any time tomorrow, TikTok could be gone. Instagram could be gone. YouTube could be gone. Then who are you? What do you own? If you don't at least have your customer data, then you may not have anything. At least if you have the customer data, their phone numbers, their emails, something, you can re-engage with them. Hey, I moved to this new platform. Come back and check me out. Like, you just want to own that. And I'm telling you guys, it is so important. So next up, we have the scaling process, which is systems, peoples, and processes. I want to show you how to go from 0 to 6 and 6 to 7. Now, you're not going to learn everything in this video, but again, my YouTube channel, my content will show you exactly how to do this. Scaling is a very different game. 0 to 6, you can teach almost anyone to do that. You just need a few of the right systems and processes in place. Going from 6 to 7 to me is all about like people. Let's talk about it. In every stage, normally from like 0 to 6, you're a hustler. Just normally what it is. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're building a personal brand, whatever it is you're doing, you're normally wearing all the hats possible. And that's fine at the start because you're a grinder, you're trying to build and grow everything up. Okay, that's just how it naturally is in entrepreneurship. But hustle will eventually break. And you need systems, people, and processes in place to really scale your business and grow your brand. That's one of the most important takeaways that you can have from all this. And this is coming from consulting with companies, being a consultant, building in the lab, like doing all these different things in the last 10 years. These are some of the learnings. Systems, people, process. So systems like automation tools, it's using AI, it's scopes of work, it's having workflows. Basically, it's things that help you. So how can you reduce chaos? That's what your systems help you do. For people, it's having the right hires. It's how do you solve bottlenecks in your business, and how do you make scaling actually possible? And then for processes, it's what are the things that you have built or you want to build that will allow you to create consistency in your business and things that are very repeatable. Process part is very key. You may be thinking like, Nav, do I need all this? If you're starting your personal brand and you're on this side, you need to have these two, 100% these two. People, this will come later. You don't need to worry about that right now. But if you're building a business, right? If you're building a business right now, you want to be an entrepreneur and make millions of dollars on a business side, systems and processes is where you're going to start. And again, you're going to scale to people much further once you get from that idea of going from 0 to 6 to 6 to 7. You don't really need too much. Like, if you can understand how to train and build AIs, to build an agent, to train it up to think like you, to talk like you, to be an extension of you, to be your right-hand man or woman, you're gonna be good. What I wanna help you guys also do is unlock the technologies that are available to us, because right now people are making millions and millions of dollars just by taking advantage of technology that you don't wanna take advantage of. Some of the mistakes that I made when starting, I waited too long to build systems. And what happens is if you wait too long, your inefficiency will compound. You don't wanna have too many inefficiencies when you're trying to build, grow, and scale a brand or a company. So you wanna understand and align what your systems are in place. For example, my workflows are pretty much defined, and I use AI agents for a lot of my automation tasks. I'll tell you guys a crazy example, and again, I'll show this, but I have an AI agent that writes scripts for me on social media every single day. Now, I don't use a lot of those scripts. What it does is it helps me define ideas. So every single day, AI agent at 9 a.m. will scrub the internet for ideas, concepts, and thoughts. It will send those to me, and I'll be like, oh, this is actually a really cool idea or concept. Let's write the first draft of the script on it. I have AI agents doing many, many other things, constantly scraping the data across the world, whether it's to help me with my companies, my brands, or my consultancy companies. But they're all helping me do something specific. And that's helping me unlock time, helping me unlock value. And again, basically just freeing me up to do more, because it's like I have my own inbuilt team doing work 24/7. I'm telling you, the technology we have right now is incredible. So don't wait too long to build systems. The other thing I did when we started going from 6 to 7 was I was hiring way too fast without clarity. And I'll admit that I was hiring way too fast. I wasted a lot of time and money hiring the wrong people. I didn't have the roles defined properly. And I think now obviously there's a lot more clarity around that, but if you're gonna hire someone, that person needs to fix a bottleneck in your company. If they cannot do that, don't hire them. For me, or frees up my time. Personally, it's taking me way too much time to ship these clothes because I used to ship every single order in the lab for 5 years. I shipped 6,000 orders myself, at least. Half my day would be spent packing and shipping orders. It was a long process, very tiring. How do I fix that? Well, let's find a warehouse and hire them to do this for me. Boom, that just solved the bottleneck. It fixes the inefficiency. It gives me my time back. That's a great hire. And that trade-off, that cost should actually make sense because it's gonna be freeing me up to do a lot more within the business. So that's how you can kind of think about these types of things. So let me break down the framework for you guys now, okay? So really simply, you wanna go from 0 to 1, right? That to me is all about hustle. And I just talked about this is wearing many, many hats. Do whatever you can, hustle, get your idea out there, build, grow, and scale it as fast as you can, as much as you can by just being one individual person. And processes will be sprinkled in amongst all these. Like you wanna start defining your processes in stage 1 where you're hustling, and it's going to be refined further in stage 2 where you have your systems from 1 to 6. And then lastly, when you go from 6 to 7, that's all people. But again, the process is already in place. So you're going to go from hustling to systems to people, but the processes are going to evolve from each step and only get better and better, allowing you more consistency and more repeatability in everything you're doing. Care about the statistics. Understand, like if you're running an e-commerce business, what's your CAC? What's your cost to acquire a new customer? What is the lifetime purchase of that customer? What is the average order value of that customer, of your customers in general? How many people are coming to your website? What products are they watching, are landing on? Which landing page is the best? Which product page is the best? Where can you optimize? What SEO words are driving people to your website? Like I can go on and on and on. If you're starting a personal brand or a business, remember, you are a business, whichever side you are. If you're an individual or your business, if you're building it, you're gonna have an LLC or a corporate structure somewhere. Understand taxes, understand profit and loss, understand net income, understand what your expenses are. If you start to understand those things at a more granular level, I promise you're gonna go so far because most people are overlooking those things and they're not understanding how to optimize at a very deeper scale. They're more so on the surface level. So think about that. Last but not least, I wanna talk to you guys about how I'm gonna apply all my past lessons to now building my personal brand in public, because that is what actually the culmination of all this really is about. Is how can I build $1 million personal brand in public with all of you watching? As I dissect everything, as I share all my knowledge and information, as I learn and grow with all of you, because this again is still a new journey for me, creating YouTube content, putting myself out there even more. Can we do it? Can we make $1 million and do it in public? Whether it's through brand deals, partnerships, later on monetizing in other ways, but how can we make $1 million as a single individual entity, as a personal brand? I'm gonna show you that. A lot of things I wanna talk about here. This is where it starts to get really fun for me. So first of all, the unique aspect for me is applying my personal experiences and putting all that out there in the public, not hiding behind anything. I want you to see the real-time wins, the losses, the lessons, the strategies, the wins, the failures, everything. I want you to see that all in real time. And that's on me to kind of deliver to you. Okay, so let's talk about company versus personal brand. If I have a company, like I say in the lab, the brand will always take the hit. That's like the shield, Captain America's shield. That's the company. Now for me, personal, or you are the brand. I am the brand. So the mistakes, the wins, that's all tied to me, my personal name. There's no more hiding anymore. It's all out there in the public for the world to see. It's about being authentic. It's about building that trust and relationship with all of you watching, which is all I want to do. The advice I have for creators: share something. You don't have to share everything. Just share something. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. Just share anything. But you don't have to share every single thing about your personal life. Just focus on sharing something and don't wait to be perfect. People will connect with real. If you're real and authentic, I promise you people will connect with you. Don't perfect the video, don't perfect the edit, just put it out there, see how it does, learn, refine, and build from there. And use accountability as fuel. Whether one person watches this video or 100 or 1,000 doesn't really matter. Over time, that number will grow and scale and change. But right now I'm focused on, okay, if one person watches this video, yo, that's pretty incredible. So I'm gonna use the accountability as real fuel. And the massive opportunity for all of us here is that personal brands scale fast. Trust has shifted. Trust has gone from logos like Coca-Cola, Nestle, L'Oreal, whatever these other big brands are, CPG brands, to people, to the Paul brothers, to Mr. Beast, to smaller creators, all around the world. Like people are trusting your face. So there's been a massive shift in the creator economy, right? Where trust has gone from, again, CPG, big, massive brands, billion-dollar brands, to the individual person. Those individuals are the most dangerous in a good way. because they own attention. When you own attention, you control everything. All right, so I appreciate all of you making it this far in the video. Seriously, do the whole thing for me. Drop a like, subscribe, all that stuff. But more importantly, like, than all those things, do the exercises that I mentioned in the previous parts of this video. Answer those questions, comment it down below. Hit me up on Instagram, shoot me an email, whatever you want to do. I am here to build and grow with all of you. If you want to build, monetize, and scale your personal brand or business, I am here for you. Here's my 5 key takeaways from this video. First of all, we have the vision. Start with your vision. Know where you're going and why. Number 2, execute relentlessly. Please just focus on execution. And number 3, and I say this depending where you are, is to monetize early. So validate your first dollar however you need to be. But remember, making that first $1 is going to be a lot more important than 10,000 views. And number 4 is how you can scale smart. So systems, people, and processes will come into play. Go back, rewatch the video, understand the learnings in this, because those will play a very key part as we build and scale over the next few years. Lastly, build in public. Okay, apply lessons, be transparent, grow your audience with you. At the end of the day, it's all gonna take time. Understand this, you are a scientist. So wake up every day and just understand that you're gonna experiment. So remember, building personal brands or building a business is not easy, but it's extremely, extremely possible. And I hope this video helps to bring you a little bit of clarity. And just keep in mind, I have new videos dropping every single week. We will continue to explore and expand on a lot of these topics to go deeper into each single topic so you can learn more, so you can build your own niche. There's so much we can dissect and build. Comment down below, I'll reply personally. I'm gonna build $1 million personal brand in public with all of you watching, all of you going along for that journey. So if you wanna join me, if you wanna make $1 million, let's go.